everybody, and welcome to my review of Knives Out, a murder mystery whodunit in the style of Agatha Christie, written and directed by Rian Johnson, and starring... Look, this movie's got a lot of A-list actors in it. So the story is pretty simple. You've got this old rich guy who has died, supposedly committed suicide, and in comes the detectives and everything who round up the family for some questioning because one of them, a private investigator played by Daniel Craig, has been paid to investigate this thing a little bit deeper and he suspects some foul play. So of course, throughout the interviews with the family, we get to learn a lot of secrets and surprises and twists about what actually happened to this guy, and yeah, obviously this is the kind of review where I am not going to spoil a thing. Not that I ever do, but especially this time. So look, I've just got to start by saying, anytime someone ever says to me from now on that Rian Johnson is a crap director because of The Last Jedi, I'm going to slap them. Probably not actually physically, but in my mind, there's a slapping. You know, this guy, he's done some other good movies, but he also directed two of the most acclaimed episodes of Breaking Bad. People tend to forget about that. Like the episode, is it Ozymandias? I don't know how it's pronounced. Like that thing, I don't know if it still has, but it had a 10 out of 10 on IMDb. Like, hardly anything ever gets 10 out of 10 on IMDb. And yeah, this guy, like, he is a really good director, and this movie was a prime example of just how good this guy is. Because aside from making a really good-looking film, the performances he got from these actors was amazing. Like, everyone really performed a character in this, and they did it well. Some of the standouts for me, probably the main one was Daniel Craig. I mean, this guy, when he starts talking, he's got this kind of a southern drawl, you know, like a foghorn leghorn thing. I mean, one character even calls him Foghorn Leghorn at one point. And yeah, he did it well. Like, it's so weird hearing that kind of voice or accent coming from Daniel Craig, but he managed to pull it off. Ana de Armas, who we've seen in a few movies, she's been a bit hit and miss. Like, she was good in Blade Runner 2049, but yeah, Knock Knock with Keanu Reeves. Yeah. But this time around, she pretty much had the lead role in the film, and she was so good, so believable in her character. And a couple of the other standouts, like Michael Shannon was really good, and again, you know, he was just really playing this character. Like, there were a whole bunch of people that were just so great. Toni Collette was another one. And it just made the movie so enjoyable to watch. I mean, these performances were so engaging, and the whole story, the way it unravels, it's not what you think. And again, I'm not going to spoil anything, but it's not a traditional murder mystery. But I respected it for that. Like, there is something that happens kind of halfway in the film, and you're sort of like, oh, okay, well, this is a bit unusual. And yeah, for a moment I was like, do I like this thing that's going on? But yeah, I did, because I didn't expect it. And another thing that Johnson really does well as a director is maintaining a consistent tone and pacing throughout the film. Like, it is a comedy, in like a sort of a dark comedy, but you know, it is a bit of a thriller as well. But he manages to blend those together so perfectly, and that's one of the key things that a director is responsible for. And yeah, with this movie, he nailed it. In nearly everything he does, like, he has this sort of a quirkiness, like the episode of Breaking Bad, which pretty much spent the entire episode of the two characters trying to kill a fly. Like, he does put this quirkiness, you know, like in The Last Jedi, you know, when there's that shot of what looks like a ship about to land, but it's actually an iron, which, like, I know a lot of people hated that moment, but that's an example of his quirkiness, and that's one of the reasons why I don't think he should be blamed too much for The Last Jedi, because, you know, he was just doing his thing, and most of the time it works. So this film had the quirkiness, yeah, and everything. Like, I really had a good time watching this movie. But the only real thing that kind of let it down a little for me, and this is in no way the movie's fault, it's just one of those things, and I guess it's the same with a lot of murder mysteries, where once you know the film's secrets, you kind of, you know, there's not much point in revisiting it. Like, yeah, the rewatchability here just wasn't great. I was talking to a friend of mine about this, and my comparison was when you get a really cool present and it's all gift wrapped, you have no idea what it is, and you unwrap it and you see this amazing thing that you've always wanted. It'd be like if you then rewrap the gift back up and were given it again. Like, you know what's inside it. So realistically, the only thing I would go back for with this movie, yeah, like I said, you know, other performances and stuff, but unfortunately, yeah, it's just the story, once it's been told, and yeah, it's a bit of a shame about that. But that's really the only thing I can fault this thing on, and like I said, it's through no fault of the film itself. I really had a blast watching this film. I will own it one day when it comes out, because I will watch it again down the track, but yeah, maybe when enough time has gone by and I'm like, what happened in that movie again? So overall, I would definitely say Knives Out is a movie worth going to see. It's possibly going to be one of my favorites of the year, and I'm going to give Knives Out a 9 out of 10. Alrighty, so thank you very much for taking the time to watch my review of Knives Out, and yeah, I'd love to know what you guys thought of it, and what were some of your favourite performances in this film, because, my god, there's so many actors to choose from. So let me know what you thought of it, drop me some comments, either here, Facebook or Twitter. All the social media links are in the description below, because I like to talk about movies, and I would love to talk about movies with you. Catch you next time.
Click subscribe to stay up to date with all the latest movie reviews. Skynet will be taking over any day now, so what have you got to lose? Nyah.